Have you ever truly thought about how we as humans travel from one place to another? The options are seemingly endless. We take cars, trains, boats, planes, bikes, buses, and some are even brave enough to choose to literally fly. I could go on and on. But the simplest and oldest form of transportation is to walk. Walking with a destination in mind. To work, to the mailbox, around a grocery store, or just to your couch. The destination differs, but the mode to get there is all the same. In the east of the continental United States, there's a mountain range called the Appalachian Mountains. Every year, millions of people set their walking destination to be part of the nearly 2,200-mile trail running up and down these mountains, appropriately named the Appalachian Trail, or AT for short. What if I told you that of those millions of people, thousands of hopeful hikers attempt to conquer the entire trail in one calendar year? A trail spanning 14 states, from Springer Mountain, Georgia, to Mount Katahdin, Maine. A trail with rugged terrain around every corner. A trail with all kinds of weather. A trail with all kinds of people. A trail open for foot traffic only. My name is Beulah, also known as Bad Bat on the trail. I was one of those hopeful hikers in 2023, and this is my story. There are more than a few ways to conquer this trail, but I decided to take the way most traveled. NOBO, or northbound, is the most popular path direction to take for thru hikers. Starting at the southern terminus, Springer Mountain in Georgia, and hiking north to Maine. Due to many factors, including weather, time of year to start, and mostly tradition above all else, most thru hikers choose this direction. So tag in hand, off to the arch I went. Alright, so I'm in the arch. There's the sign. How long does it say? No longer accurate, but close enough. I just took a bunch of pictures. Gorge is out for the photo shoot, and now it is time to hike the falls. We made it to the falls, if you can hear me. Woo woo woo! Strenuous. Let's do it. At the very top, we're gonna continue on the AT approach trail. Woo woo, we're doing it. So approach trail is no joke. So we are making our way to Springer. If this is the first video you're watching of mine, hello. My name is Bad Bat, and I will be attempting a thru hike of the Appalachian Trail in 2023. I made it. Lots of people are up here. There it is. First white blaze. I was officially on my way. White blazes lead the way. The beginning of trail was very difficult for someone who did not live in a place with mountains to train on before starting the AT. So while I did make time for fun, I started slow. I'm at the top of Hawk Mountain. Now I'm breathing real heavy. That took me like 2 hours to climb to the top. That's less than a mile per hour, which is a little sad. My uphills are just atrocious. I go very slow. It made many rookie mistakes. Less than half a liter of water, which is less than ideal. But I learned as I went. As I trekked on, little did I know who was waiting at Woody Gap. Alright, so I've made it to the Leapfrog Cafe. I'm eating a grilled cheese and some soup and some Gatorade, and Fresh Ground is right over there. Thank you so much, Fresh Ground. It was delicious. After a delicious meal with Fresh Ground, I got a ride to my very first hostel stay on trail. Many kind people have set up hostels close to the AT road crossings along the way that cater to hikers with amenities like small resupply options for sale, beds, showers, laundry, town shuttles, you name it. Above the Clouds was the first of many hostels I would stay at on my journey. In the blink of an eye, I was back to trail, and I decided to push myself and climb the first notable mountain of trail while the weather was good.
These are the switchbacks that never end. Oh, Jesus, I'm gonna fall backwards. How many gummy worms does it take to get on top of this blasted mountain? I did it!
I made it, and oh boy was I glad I did that climb because the next day was so gloomy. I made it to Neil's Gap, home of one of the best gear shops on trail. Rumor has it that 25% of thru-hike attempts end right here just over 31 miles into trail, at which time they throw their shoes into the tree. The truth behind that is questionable, but it's true that for many people this is the end of their AT journey. But I was just getting started. With more miles came my first shelter stay. I started to bump into some amazing people and started to get really comfortable with using my gear. I stayed at more hostels and started to figure out how to resupply. But a whole bunch of us are about to resupply. Let's party. And with the winter weather rolling in, I was finally starting to get into the groove. And just like that, I had one state down.
Woo! Ow, ow!
And thus began my tradition of border booze. At each border crossing, I wanted to toast the accomplishment with a social, aka a cheers of sorts, my family has done for as long as I can remember.
1 down, 13 to go.
Packed out wine down the gullet, it was time to take on North Carolina. As I climbed my first rock scrambles up Albert Mountain, I inched closer to a highly anticipated sign.
100!
While this was a huge accomplishment, I still had almost 2,100 more miles to go. But first, a 0 day at Franklin at Chica and Sunset's hostel for my birthday. Adorned with party hats, several hikers I had been hiking around all went out to dinner to celebrate with me.
Happy
birthday! I quickly ran into what was the coldest night I had on trail. 18 degrees without wind chill. Thankfully, I was with a group of amazing people, and the weather did clear up soon after. I began hiking with 4 other hikers, Blackbeard, Serendipity, Canvas, aka 45, and Easy. I'd finally found a little trail family to call a tramily. At this point, I was about 2 weeks into my hike, and this fire tower is when it really hit me that I was out there.
I'm doing it.
I was on the AT. I was doing the thing that I'd been dreaming about for years. So I kept on climbing. Down into the NOC I went.
And Blackbeard and Easy should be waiting at a restaurant for me, and all I want is a cheeseburger. There the boys. Woo woo woo! Made it. There's the bridge.
I did get my cheeseburger. And after a night in a questionable bunk room with my friends, I learned very quickly what goes down must go back up on the AT. I'm so grateful that I had my little tramily with me during this part of trail. We encouraged each other and helped one another as we went. We definitely became fast friends for life.
Go beep beep. That's me. Bad. I bet Easy wrote that. Thanks, Easy. I need it.
After a 0 day at the Fontana Village where I did some much needed laundry, we headed to the nicest shelter on trail, the Fontana Dam Shelter, aka the Fontana Hilton, for a fun night of rainy but delicious s'mores. The next day we entered the highly anticipated Great Smoky National Park. As I climbed higher, my spirits fell. It was raining and cold.
But nothing left to do but walk. So I think I get to go down. Or soaked through.
And I was ever so much slower than my friends around me. This was the first time I cried on trail. It was very discouraging to walk all day in the cold rain and feel like I'd be left behind. But as soon as I got warm, dry, and fed in the shelter, my spirits got higher.
This is where the views would be, if there were any. It is so windy. I'm officially running on a ridge down this mountain so I don't get caught up here in a thunderstorm. So I'm gonna put you away and I will see you at the shelter. Hopefully I make it in time before it starts lightning. Oh my word. I'm so glad I looked up the weather on my Garmin this morning.
Then before the crack of dawn, I hiked together with my tramily to the highest point on the AT to see one of the most spectacular sunrises I have ever seen.
I made it. It is so windy, but you can see in the distance that's Gatlinburg, and the sun's just barely starting to come up. Newfound Gap! Woo, 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 woo. Okay, so since Tennessee and North Carolina border each other for forever, I'm gonna count this as the Tennessee border. So I've got a Trail Magic beer here. So here we go, border booze, social.
Social 2 was complete. Officially halfway through the Smokies, our trail friend Woodchuck took us to Gatlinburg for a resupply and a night in a hotel. Back at it for one of my favorite days of hiking, and it just so happened to be the longest I had hiked in one day so far.
Oh, this is so cool. This is the trail, and this is what I'm looking at. This is the best day ever. 15.7, I freaking made it.
Down to it. No, thank you.
Yeah,
there she is.
Did I mention the weather was gross through the Smokies? After narrowly avoiding a guy with a machete,
the shelter to go to the bathroom, and I see he's got a machete.
Long story. And oh, did we have so much further to go.
Mama K, 1953.9. I hope that's accurate.
A quick family visit in Gatlinburg later, I swapped out some gear, got a great resupply, and was off once more to trail, where Mac's Patch was awaiting, with beautiful views and lots of hiker friends. Into Hot Springs I strolled down the sidewalk that just happened to be part of trail. I had an amazing breakfast at the diner, got a few new toys at the gear store, and started the huge climb out, but it did have some great views. We ran into Fresh Ground again, this time for a dinner of burritos.
Bye, Fresh Ground. Thanks for dinner.
And next Trail Magic, I ran into the Southern Cookie Lady. We sat on her porch as it rained, and she told me stories about her being a special education teacher.
There's Easy. Hey. Oh, this is beautiful. Oh, there it is, there it is. Woo, 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 woo! 300!
And that's when the weather really took a turn. The trail turned white, and the layers strapped on, and the bouldering started. And with long miles and lots of rocks came delirium.
I'm feeling delirious. My legs feel like noodles. Oh my God. I need to be done walking now. I'm walking like a crazy person. Grilled cheese.
Fresh Ground to the rescue with the grilled cheese in hand.
I made it.
Sadly, this is where my journey with my first tramily ended, but happily, it's where my journey with my friend Woodchuck began. Under a blanket of snow, we continued on.
Welcome to Big Bald. You can't see anything.
Look at that ice. It was absolutely insane. Then we went to the town of Irwin, Tennessee, where the entire town was yarn bombed. This was definitely my favorite town stop of trail. And that's not just because Story the cat lived at a library. I donated a couple of books, walked through a drive-thru, hung out around the fire at Uncle Johnny's hostel, but sadly had to wave goodbye and head back to knock out some miles. The trail was still frozen, but beautiful as ever. Yeah, that's a complete solid sheet of ice on top of Roan Mountain, where we had to warm up our fingers over a camp stove. Thankfully, we hit 400 the next day after being rescued off of trail by a very kind trail angel, Dave, at Station 19. We sang the Circle of Life at the top of our lungs. I'd love to include it, but I'd rather not Disney sue me. We snaked along the trail and quickly made it to the end of North Carolina.
I'm pretty sure this is the last of North Carolina. I didn't even realize I was walking in North Carolina. I'm telling you, Tennessee and North Carolina should just be one state, and I'm kind of treating them as one state because I already did my border booze at friggin' Newfound Gap like 200 miles ago. So, anyways, North Carolina, goodbye. I'm sorry I don't have anything to toast you with, but social.
Past magical waterfalls, insane trail sections, across another dam, past the iconic AT barn, we made it to
Tennessee, Virginia state line. Here, we're gonna toast with Gatorade. Social. Cheers.
Now, Virginia starts out with a bang, walking straight through Damascus, Trail Town, USA.
Blueberry Bat is here.
Yeah, the weather wasn't kind to me at the beginning of Virginia.
Woo, 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 woo! 500!
But the Grayson Highlands made up for it. With wild ponies galore, this was one of my favorite sections of trail. I was getting used to the new gear I got in Damascus, and found my first snake of trail. A quick stop at the Partnership Shelter where you're able to order pizza. Next, we hit this.
1/4 of the way from Georgia to Maine. I only have to do that 3 more times.
Yeah, all that rain really swelled up some rivers, which led to our first couple of water crossings. And mind you, it had just snowed. We still managed to have fun, including a movie night inside a pretty cool shelter.
We're watching a walk in the woods. How appropriate.
Through burn areas and across highways, we continued on. And luckily, we ran into our favorite cafe again, where you can hear how desperately I wanted vegetables.
Ooh, yes, please. I love salad. Oh my God, he's holding a green pepper. It's the best day.
And just like that, another 100-mile marker down.
I must be getting close because I can smell bacon. Yum. All right, hand wash first. I'm out of here.
Okay.
Speaking of thank yous, thank you. I will see you later.
Spring was beginning to peek out of the brown that we've been walking through so far, which made my hiker heart so happy.
I think I'm supposed to go that way. Hi, Woodchuck! Woo-woo! This is the Appalachian Trail!
I even got to paint a white blaze. I had a visit from some pretty furry hikers, which I'd heard tell of biting and getting into your gear.
Why are you licking my trekking pole? Sir! Sir!
20.6, baby. Over a 20-mile day, and I rewarded myself with a ramen bomb, aka putting mashed potatoes into a packet of ramen. It's a hiker delicacy. And at the Kiever Oak Tree, I got some bad news that Woodchuck was getting off trail.
Well, things have gone south. I've been crying for a while. Woodchuck's getting off trail. once again, I'm gonna be by myself. I'm just so sick of being slow. This is really discouraging. I'm sad. And it's a beautiful day. And like, I get to look at this. And I'm very grateful that I get to do that. God, when they say this is a mental game, they're really not kidding.
But you know who could cheer me up?
I'm pretty sure that's fresh ground at the bottom of this hill.
A man with a stack of blueberry pancakes.
Hello! It's so good to see you!
They were delicious as always.
I'm very thankful for fresh ground. I was telling him about my rough day yesterday, and he was very encouraging. And Virginia blues are no joke, people. You get a good chunk in, mind starts playing tricks on ya.
I marched on and tried to have as much fun as humanly possible by myself.
There it is, 700! Woo-hoo!
Then I started the Virginia Triple Crown, starting with Dragon's Tooth, which had a horrifically hard descent.
So this is the trail right now. Nice view, but this is the trail right now.
And I passed some critters, some I liked, and some I didn't.
Massive snake, massive black scary snake is on the trail. I hate him looking at him move. Seriously, before this trail I didn't think I was afraid or didn't like snakes. They were fine, they were whatever. But oh my God, I don't like them. I don't like them at all.
And off to McAfee Knob I made it. The most photographed spot on trail, and you can see why. Then Tinker Cliffs rounded out the Virginia Triple Crown.
1/3 of the way to Katahdin. Woo, 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 woo. I think the green tunnel is finally here. I'm so excited for it to be green. And I know that means summer and hot and bugs and blah, 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 blah. But I've been looking at brown for 71 days. I'm so excited.
But the blues of walking by myself and camping by myself every night were hitting me hard.
I don't like being by myself. It's just lonely.
As they say, the trail provides. And I ran into an amazing hiker, an 18-year-old who graduated high school early named Pigpen. We walked the same pace, which was an incredible change. We hiked together, took breaks together, and had tons of fun together.
Here it is, 800!
And perhaps my favorite animal encounter, I met a fellow bat. I'm going quickly today. Oh.
Is that a bat? I think there's a bat. Oh my God. Look. There's a bat.
Brethren! Oh. Look at him go. Oh, he's on the line.
I would like to prepare you for me talking about rocks for the next good chunk of trail.
About the rocks in Pennsylvania. Whoo! Okay, that one was not stable. All right, talk first, then walk. I'm freaked out about Pennsylvania because all the rocks. Like, apparently it's like this. Or I don't know, it might be like big boulders or small rocks. I don't know. All I know is that there's rocks. And at the high point in New Jersey, that's when the rocks end, according to Blackbeard. I miss Blackbeard.
I learned not to trust any weather prediction because AT weather can go from this to this.
As you can see, it's sunny blue skies. I don't get it, but I am not going to complain.
Having lost Pigpen after a town visit, I entered the Shenandoahs, but quickly met up with a friend I'd already met on trail named Traveler, and we conquered the Shanties together.
All right, Traveler, how far did we go today?
23.6 miles.
Baby! Woo, woo,
9.5 hours.
woo! That's the longest most of us have ever gone.
Yes.
That's very exciting. 900 miles! Woo, 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 woo!
The Shanties are the best. With way stations galore, we had snacks almost every day.
We did the Shanties!
Yay!
Woo! It took us a week, but that's okay. One of those days was a 0, to be fair, so it took us 6 days to get through the shanties.
I was starting to get really comfortable with my gear and comfortable being outside 24 hours a day. This was my life now, and I was loving it.
We have made it. This is an actual sign. 1,000 miles. Woo! Woo! This is so exciting.
And the longest state was conquered.
Done. But I have a tiny blue, it's raspberry flavored vodka. But I wanted to make the joke because the Virginia blues are over. West Virginia, woohoo, social. Oh God, that's terrible. Cheers.
Over the bridge to the unofficial halfway point of the Appalachian Trail, Harper's Ferry, where we got our picture taken at the iconic ATC location.
It looks a bit different this morning. This is quite literally the trail. You can see a white blaze up on that pole.
Across the bridge to Maryland we went, where sadly, Traveler's AT hike this year was coming to an end.
Okay, so we've determined that there is no West Virginia, Maryland sign, so we've crossed the bridge. So can you hold these for a second? Awesome. So we're gonna border booze it right here at 9 in the morning. I have Fireball whiskey. All right, to all 4 miles of West Virginia. Social. God, oh, that's cinnamon. Cheers. Traveler's gone. If you didn't catch my last video, she's starting a new adventure, so she's getting off trail at Harper's Ferry. I knew this was coming.
I can now reveal that she joined the Peace Corps and is serving 2 years in Africa. Rock on, Traveler. Fresh ground to the rescue once again, where I met an iconic AT hiker.
Got Turtle Toes and Yard Sale and Taylor, and we're all having breakfast.
Me losing weight was becoming a huge problem. I just could not eat enough calories. Fresh even taped a foam pad to my hip belt to make it fit. I ended up spending the next 2 days with Taylor the New Hampshire hiker. Such a cool person.
Oh, wow. Awesome 360. So cool. Woo-hoo-hoo! We did it. Wait, where'd you go? Where'd you go? There you are. Woohoo! All right, there's Taylor. She's already crossed, and now I am officially in Pennsylvania. Woo! So social. Cheers!
And the rocks began. Welcome to Rocksylvania. Today's day 97, and I've had a time. I abruptly had to get off trail because I became violently ill. So, to make a long story as short as I can, I was on trail. I walked off trail to get to a barbecue place, ended up being closed, and I didn't have any food on me. So I kept walking down this road, made it to a gas station, had lunch at the gas station, left. As I'm walking back to trail, I start feeling a little queasy.
That was a fiasco, to say the least. But I got food, and that's what matters, I suppose. I feel kind of ill, and I had to sit down. I'm in a park right now. This is the trail, but my stomach just felt awful.
So I get down to this cabin. There's like a cabin on trail. So I get down there and there's 3 guys sitting around a fire pit. I'm like, I'm just gonna sit and drink some water. Like, I'm still not feeling too great. And I start feeling horrendous. So I end up getting sick, like outside of the privy, just like in the woods. Not 5 minutes later, I don't even make it back up to the privy. I start getting sick again. And it's like uncontrollable bad. And this guy was like, I'll drive you to town. So I'm continuing to throw up inside this Walmart bag in this man I don't know's car. He gets me to an urgent care. So as soon as I step out of his car, I immediately collapse, all fours on the sidewalk outside of this urgent care, heaving chunks. It was a low moment, to say the least. They essentially determined that it was from a water source that I had used. Giardia, it turns out. So I recouped in a hotel room for 4 days, and then it still took about 3 weeks for me to feel completely better. But I trekked on. So happy day 100 to me. Whoa, 100 days of being out here on trail. I've got my new hip belt put on my bag. Okay, so we are back officially where I left off. You can see that's a cabin those guys are staying at. That's where I saw them at the fire ring. Privy's behind them, so this is where the episode started. Not good memories happened in this place, so we're gonna move happily along. 1,100 miles. Da, 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 da. Halfway! And at the Pine Grove Furnace General Store, I ran into a friend I recognized from YouTube. Her name's Gabby, and soon became a different name. To do not a half-gallon challenge, but a pint challenge. Look at him! You're like, oh my god!
So cute.
He is so adorable! Made it 15! How do you feel?
Not as bad as I thought.
Hey! This is Gabby's longest day ever, so we're celebrating. In between the rocks, Pennsylvania did have lots of fields. I sent a whole box of gear I didn't use very much home to save every ounce. And along with 700, Gabby and I kept on through Rocksylvania. So Gabby has finally decided on a trail name. So what is your trail name?
Scorch.
And why is it Scorch?
Because I burned my food to the bottom of my pot.
Hey.
And Bat gave it to me.
It's me! I gave you a trail name! I'm so excited. Scorch it is. And we had a great time through Pennsylvania, including walking through Duncannon. I'll never get over when the trail's a sidewalk. We out here.
Oh my god.
We out here though.
How are you supposed to do this?
We out here. On to yet another shelter where you can order pizza. Here's your daily reminder that Pennsylvania's rocky. 1,200! Woohoo! Just said goodbye to Scorch, aka Gabby. Have I mentioned that Pennsylvania has rocks? Wow. Oh my. Look at the clouds. That is the trail. Are you guys as tired of hearing about rocks as I am about walking on them? It's everywhere. Now entering Knife's Edge. Oh my. This is gonna be treacherous. You can see another hiker. These are the rocks that never end. It just looks like I keep showing you the same part of trail, but these are all boulder scrambles. And lo and behold, after she got back from graduating, I ran back into Pigpen. I was so excited to hike with her and Stax, another hiker I met in this section. Super steep and rocky. This is insane. Nothing like literally rock climbing first thing in the morning. We're literally climbing just up to heaven, it looks like at this point. We had some interesting camp spots in this section, including behind a restaurant, which was super fun. Grassy field, and we are welcome to set up. So there's me. We've got Stax and Pigpen and Globetrotters over there, and now we're gonna go in and finally eat. I'm so hungry. The hiker hunger was starting to kick in. Guys, look at the sign. AT northbound. Mama K is in 910 miles. Woohoo!
Woo!
I adored walking with these ladies through this section of trail. And I started to learn how to resupply anywhere.
Let's party.
And on an extremely busy road, we crossed into New Jersey. Bye, Rocksylvania.
Done! Woo! Thanks for this, Nikki. Social! Cheers! And just like that, 1,300! Woohoo! Hey, Jersey. Pennsylvania called. It wants its rocks back.
But entering Jersey brought fire towers and some critters I had never seen before.
Like, is that what that looks like? Lake. Oh, there's a beaver! There's a beaver! There's a beaver! Look, he's swimming! Look, he's swimming. Right there, right there, right there. He's swimming! Oh, I'm so excited.
After the iconic Jersey high point, the rocks did subside and were replaced with lots and lots of farmland. And at the secret shelter, I did a little check-in on a map to look at just how far we'd come.
Gone all the way to about there. That's insane. But then we have all of this left.
And having as much fun as possible, Pigpen and I kept on towards that Mama K goal.
My poor legs are so dirty and I'm covered in bug bites, and I couldn't be happier.
Yeah, not all the rocks go away after Pennsylvania. It took me until New Jersey to finally hitchhike for the first time on trail.
Let's party.
And after hitting up the grocery, where I will say I was getting pretty good at resupplying, we walked over to the Warwick Drive-In, a drive-in movie theater that lets thru-hikers camp and watch movies. I definitely rated the concession stand for all the goodies and had one of my best nights on trail watching The Little Mermaid. But the AT beckoned and we were back to climbing rocks.
Oh yeah, there it is, there it is, there it is. Woohoo! Will T Swift sue me if I sing Welcome to New York? No. Welcome to New York. It's been waiting for you. I'm so excited. And y'all know what time it is. Social. Whew, that's strong. Cheers.
Let the rebar begin. New York was not a hike in the park.
It's Bad Bat and Pigpen. Who goes there? Vegas?
And thus, the Snake Daddy Fan Club Tramley was born. I will not elaborate on the name.
Looks like it's taking us through a literal cave. I'm pretty sure that this is going to be the lemon squeezer.
I'll die.
I do feel very squeezed.
I'm stuck.
All right, Bad Pat.
Yay, Bad Bat!
We all did it.
Yeah!
The lemon squeezer was one thing, but the rock wall after was arguably harder.
1,400, baby! Woo! I'm dying.
This was definitely the longest trail conga line I hiked in, and I had a blast. After topping Bear Mountain, we were headed towards one of the most iconic, in my opinion, bits of trail. A literal zoo.
This is so exciting! This is the trail, there's a blaze.
Snakes, reptiles, and other animals galore, even seeing my first bear on trail. It was a blast. The squad was so much fun to hike with. We made a quick town stop, including fueling that hiker hunger, and made our way across the bridge to conquer the last of New York. This section was well known for what's called deli blazing, going from deli to deli that's close to trail.
Hakuna Matata.
Please don't worry for the rest of
It's our problem-free philosophy.
Camping literally on top of each other, we began a tradition of playing Mad Libs at night.
right.
Never in my life did I think it would be that much fun.
For Babbat.
Spaceship.
Am I supposed to tell you what this is?
Yeah, now you
Star
can.
Spangled Banner.
Oh.
Can you sing it?
Oh, this is gonna be good.
Goodness, I can try. Oh, say, can you slurp?
I'm doing good start. That was a good one.
That was a good one.
Deli blazing continued. And the squad marched on. Even past the AT Metro North train stop. Through cow pastures and on to the next.
Welcome to Connecticut! Woo! Social! Cheers!
Welcome to New England.
So this is Pigpen's resupply. I've already put mine away.
These cookies for like dessert.
Mm-hmm.
These are like candy for snacking.
Yeah?
And then like powdered donuts for just when I'm sad.
You need it sometimes though. You need a snack that makes you happy.
The smoke from the Canadian wildfires didn't make ideal hiking conditions, but we didn't let it stop us.
I just want to ask Connecticut, why? Why? Look, can you even see the blazes? Does that even look steep?
As Vegas would say, I need an adult. We had some really tough weather nights. That thunder sounds so scary.
I don't like it.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you hear the thunder?
What?
Oh my word! It's raining now! Oh my god!
I have a tick, folks. He's right there. He's itty bitty teeny tiny. I pulled one off of Pigpen earlier. Extra thorough tick check tonight. Let's get this guy out of me.
This is the last bad bat pig pen break. Because I'm going to New York tomorrow. So I'll have to catch up so we can do more breaks.
We've probably taken like 100 breaks together.
So many. Because we hike slow, but steady all day long. So we still do big miles. It's just we like to do this
And we
so we don't
sit.
feel like death.
We have to sit and eat a lot.
Yeah, food is very important. One last tramley dinner.
We're all having more pasta sides. That's okay.
After walking past a high school and being hiker trash in a diner, I said goodbye and made my way to New York.
Right, the tramley is leaving. I'm very sad. Say goodbye to the internet. Goodbye, internet. Y'all be safe. Oh my.
It's just like, I've got my full pack on. Alright, let's find where I'm staying. People are shouting in the middle of Times Square.
Last minute tickets have been acquired at the Nederlander Theater. New York is busy, y'all.
This does not look like the woods you've been following me through for 4 months. After my New York adventure, it was back to trail. At the regional high school.
1,500! Woo-hoo!
I'm pouring in sweat, climbing up my second mountain of the day, but I just achieved something that I didn't realize I was going to achieve today. It is 9:40 and I have gone 10.1 miles. So I have achieved the ever so elusive 10 by 10.
Welcome to Massachusetts!
Social. That one's not too bad. Cheers. Massachusetts is when New England really kicked it into high gear. After Scorch caught me for some trail magic, the rain began.
Oh my god! That is the trail! It's running off the road! Ah!
But it did bring out some pretty cute trail companions. Cookie Lady 2.0 came in clutch with some snacks. And the trail became a sidewalk for a good portion of this section. I did meet some pretty cool trail angels as well. Mount Greylock has seen better days.
1600, baby! Woo! Welcome to Vermont! Woo-ow! Social! Woo! Cinnamon! Cheers!
And thus began the hardest section on this hike. Not terrain-wise, but mentally. The trail was a mess, and so was my head. I was pushing huge miles to try to catch up with my tramline.
Here's where we're at. I'm spiraling. I've given up trying to stay dry. Then I'm just gonna make it to the next road and have to hitch in. Just being by myself is really getting to me. So we're just gonna make it to a road and see what I can do.
So I hitched into a gas station at the next road crossing and got everything I needed. And the race continued to try to catch up with my friends. But understandably, they were too far ahead. They have a deadline to keep. They don't want me getting hurt. I get it. But I loved hiking with them. So they were very kind. They're not gonna zero in Hanover, and they just can't slow down to let me catch up. And I get it. No one should alter their hike to accommodate somebody else. Hike your own hike. I get it. But that doesn't make me not horrifically sad. So I'm just gonna slow right on down. And we're gonna go see, what staying with a cult is like. Yes, you heard that correctly. And after a few ski resort topped mountains, a loon on a lake.
And see someone's in a Do y'all hear that? Wow, that's so spooky sounding across the lake.
And some pretty bizarre rock gardens, I did just that. The infamous Yellow Deli. The little clothes were untraditional. And with that many hikers in the back of a truck, you know the party's gonna be good. They fed us dinner, we sang songs, and even learned a dance or two of our own. And then all the hikers went to a karaoke bar. Where I discovered I was a little bit better at darts than I thought I was.
To the AT!
It was so nice to be around people and have a blast. But back on trail, I was back by myself.
I don't know what's wrong with me. I just can't get it together.
Like I said, this was the hardest section of trail. The terrain was getting rougher, and I was feeling so homesick. When you have nothing to do but sit with your own thoughts all day, your mind starts to play tricks on you. But I still tried to keep a positive attitude and have as much fun as possible.
500 more miles, y'all. Whew. I can do this. I can do this. There it is, ladies and gents. 1700! Ow! Ow! So we are getting dangerously close to hitting the Whites. If you have not heard of the Whites before, the Whites are a mountain range in New Hampshire, which I'm going to be entering here in a couple of days, that people have been kind of fear-mongering about for the entire trail. That's like, oh, you think this is hard? Wait till you get to the Whites. Just wait till you get to the Whites. Blah, 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 blah. It's either the Whites or southern Maine are well known as the hardest part of trail.
And the weather certainly didn't let up. Walking through the rain all day, every day, was not helping matters. I've been trying to edit it out, but my mental health is taking a huge plummet. Trail's hard. Trail's very, very hard. I walk by myself all day. It's not fun. And I think I've cried every single day in Vermont.
because like it's starting to affect me physically. Y'all know I've been losing weight like crazy, and now I'm like not even hungry anymore. Don't get hungry, don't get full. That's not good, because if you've been watching for a while, you'll know that I've had to replace my hip belt because I lost so much weight. Well, I'm now at max for this hip belt. Like, I have lost that much weight. Yeah, I lost about 40 pounds at this point. And I'm grateful I have my umbrella. Yep, this is where we're at. Climbing a mountain. Oh my word. I don't think I've shown one of these signs. If you did not know, the AT is the longest foot travel only path in the world. So no bikes, vehicles, horses, or any other pack stock are allowed. So foot travel only. Welcome to the AT. There's a white blaze. Sidewalk next to a very busy 4-lane highway. Oh my goodness, I thought this was on the bridge going out of town. I'm crossing into New Hampshire. Thank God I already have my border booze. Let's get it out. Social. That one's pretty good. It's like a pineapple vodka. Cheers. Welcome to New Hampshire. The trail then walked straight through Hanover, where I ended up staying for 2 0 days. We stopped at Lou's for breakfast, watched it rain from inside, and tried to eat as many calories as humanly possible. 2 mental health days later, I was back out into the mud. I made friends! Y'all want to tell the internet who you are?
I'm Trash Panda.
I'm Nightcap.
Yeah, and we're going to the same shelter, so that's very exciting. It was so nice to run into some new, kind people and have buddies through this treacherous, rainy section. It has now gotten so steep, they've put in ladders and rebar to help us. Oh my God, it just won't stop raining! Shock and surprise, it's raining on day 150! Woo! 150 days. And I was thinking this morning, I have not had 24 hours of being dry on trail since before I went to New York. And that trend continued. It was on this mountain that I came to my breaking point. Well, having another breakdown. Trail is hard. Being away from home for this long is hard. I don't know if I can keep doing this. Through the rain and the sludge, all I could think about was home. Fearing that no one missed me. No one was contacting me. No one cared that I'd been gone. And no one would care if I never came home. I was completely terrified that I meant nothing to the people that meant the most to me. I confided in one person those fears, and it's a little scary just how true they became. But that's a story for the end of trail. After 5 miles, we decided to bail. Trash Panda, Nightcap, Super Chill, and I took a dip in the lake with a hostel worker before going into town and getting some much-needed rest and much-needed time to get dry.
Something's begun, but oh, the summer nights.
Back on trail, so that's where we got picked up yesterday. Do you like my accessory? We're gonna go back to the hostel, and we're gonna have a little 4th of July celebration cookout. So that's gonna bring me all of the joy I so desperately need. They definitely satiated our hiker hunger on the 4th of July. There she is, folks, out of birch bark. 1,800! Less than 400 to go. It's gonna be hard, but we're gonna do it. Thus the whites began with a long trek up Moosilauke. Mount Moosilauke! Ow, ow! 4,802 feet. Sadly, Nightcap went home after his section, and Trash Panda and Super Trill were much faster than me, so I conquered the rest of the whites alone. I am very glad these blocks are here. Do you see how steep that is down? Well, trail is still a literal mud pit. And sometimes it's deeper than others. Oh my god. I feel like this is a I'm on top of the world moment. Just to give you an idea of what we're working with, this is all the way up.
The weather decided to be kind, and the clouds parted so I could get views on one of the most amazing sections of trail, Franconia Ridge.
This is the most incredible trail I have ever stepped foot on. This is absolutely spectacular.
But with all the rain, a lot of the whites turned into a waterfall.
This is crazy. This is insane. Pretty sunrise. Crazy waterfall trail.
And I was happy that while it thunderstormed almost every night, the sun was out during the day.
I just came down that. We're gonna continue, going down a rock slab. This is insanity.
I did a couple work for stays at huts along the way. With camping spots being few and far between below treeline, these were a safe haven for hikers. But not all parts of the Whites were rocky. You did get beautiful sections like this, but the rain kept coming.
Ah! Here it comes. Back out on trail. Already in blueberry mode and climbing.
But sometimes that bad weather couldn't be avoided this high, and winds were more terrifying than the rain could ever be.
I'm going very, very slow.
But I still tried to keep a positive attitude.
At least there's no bugs.
And boy, oh boy, when those clouds parted, all that climbing was worth it. And just after Lake of the Clouds hut came the amazing Mount Washington.
But that's the hut. That's the lake. That's the beautiful view. And that is my goal.
Unfortunately, it was under construction.
Mount Washington! The sounds of nature!
After crossing the Cog Railway track, it was on to more rocks.
That is Mount Washington that's now in the clouds. And I've hiked all the way over here. And it's taken me forever because the entire trail looks like this.
These mountains were truly putting me to the test.
Welcome to Mount Madison, where it dumped rain on me and now it's sunny and windy as all get out. This is absolutely ludicrous. Like, this is not a trail, and it is so windy.
And then I bumped into a hiker I had met at the Notch Hostel. And spoiler alert, we walked together until the very end. But I can't jump too far ahead. The Wildcats were up next.
You can see Irish, we're literally hand over hand, rock climbing up a mountain.
And wild they were. One last stay at a hut as a guest this time. We were out of the Whites.
I did that!
A quick stop in town, and then we were on to the last leg of our journey.
Right. 1900, out of blueberries. Woo!
A few mud puddles and peaks later, we made it to Maine.
New Hampshire, Maine state line! Woo! We walked from Georgia. We walked from Georgia to here. For the very last time, welcome to Border Boost. This is the last state line, and I've taken a social at every single one. So for an extra special state line, an extra special Border Boost, the tiniest champagne you ever did see. So I'm gonna figure out how to open this and then we'll social. Woo! That was very exciting. For the last time, social. Cheers! Welcome to Maine! I think this is the AT's idea of a sick joke.
Southern Maine did come with its challenges.
Rebar in a rock wall! Why? Why?
The mud certainly didn't stop. And neither did the rain. Then came the hardest mile on trail, the Mahoosuc Notch, which I conquered with Daddy Llama and Irish. It was 2.5 hours of crawling, climbing, and squeezing our way through rocks, through calf-deep water, but we made it.
We did it! Woo! So what was our time?
2 hours, 23 minutes.
2 hours 23 to do 1 mile.
The rocks didn't stop there, though. Southern Maine was definitely a challenge, and my gratitude for sunny days skyrocketed. And up every rock slab was sure to be a great view.
See, this is what I'm talking about. Mud pit, mud pit, mud pit, mud pit. Oh, gravy. Who needs dry feet?
Blueberry season galore! Always had to stop for a snack when I saw them.
Doesn't get any fresher than that.
Water crossings became a normal part of my day. But on the flip side, so did views of amazing lakes. We took a couple joy rides on canoes, dinner with a view in Maine. Passed through clouds.
It's so windy.
And made it to 2,000.
2,000 miles. Woo! Wow. I did it. I'm a 2,000 miler officially.
With our last few resupplies, the end of trail was feeling near.
Katahdin's out there somewhere in the humidity haze.
But the remoteness of Maine did not stop amazing trail angels from helping us out. And with every sunrise and every water crossing, we were inching closer to Mama Kay. Across the Kennebec River in our canoe ferry, Irish and I conquered the end together.
In a stunning turn of events, it's raining in New England. Made it to the road! Woo! I have about 2 brain cells left, and the rest of it just feels like scrambled eggs.
The last started rolling in. Last hostel, last resupply, which we split into 2 with a food drop. Last town food, had to be a lobster roll. And into the 100-mile wilderness we went, the most remote part of the AT. Water crossings continued.
That's the Sobo 100. I have less than 100 miles left! Ah!
I was getting so excited to be finished. It was in my reach, finally feeling real. And there were still surprises around every corner.
Well, here's something you don't see on trail every day. It's a plane crash.
We stayed in our last shelter. I got eaten alive by mosquitoes, grabbed our food drop, including an ice-cold Coke, thanks Shaw's, and got our first peek at what we've been walking towards for 6 months.
Oh my. We are so close. We are so close.
But then I got a pretty gnarly cold.
I feel awful.
Today is day 184, and if you can't already tell, I'm sick. And I would just like to show you the current state of my legs and all of the bug bites that I have gotten. They're all over the place. But look! A-Ball Bridge is 12.8 away! I'd scream, but I have no voice. I just set up my tent for the very last time on trail. I'm about to go find a tree for my very last bear hang on trail. Woohoo, last dinner has to be ramen, of course. Yay, last dinner. Officially out of the 100-mile wilderness. Oh, wow.
We entered Baxter State Park, where Irish and I met up with family to meet with us and hike with us to the end.
I'm 5 miles away.
And on the morning of day 187, we attempted to make it to the top. Then Irish with her partner and me with mine made our way in the dark to Katahdin to touch that sign.
Get going. Current weather update. Cloudy, but not raining. And if it stays that way, it's just gonna be okay. If it dumps rain, it's just gonna be okay. Everything's just gonna be okay.
The Appalachian Stream Falls. Fun! Even on summit day, climbing up a waterfall. Bouldering has been happening. We can't see anything. Scary. We're at tree line. Here goes Irish.
Well, blueberry bat is here. So we got to tree line, as you saw, and got about, 10 feet up and determined that it was just horrifically unsafe. The wind is blowing so much and it is freezing cold and raining, so we have come back down a ways and have been trying to wait it out.
This is the end of the footage I took on this day, and what happened before I turned the camera back on again needs some explanation. It seemed too dangerous to continue, and that is when my hike, after 6 months, 2 miles from being completed, was utterly destroyed. While descending the mountain, my husband, a man I had been together with for 7 years, informed me that he no longer wanted to be married. Within 72 hours of this moment, he had a lawyer. Within 2 weeks of this moment, papers were signed. Within 2 months of this moment, he was publicly dating someone I had considered a good friend of mine for years. Many people I loved like family, or were even then family, that I would have taken a bullet for, have not spoken to me since. Others accepting his and her betrayal as okay, I have chosen to step away from. My worst fear that had been ripping apart my mental health for hundreds of miles was coming true all at once. This last day you were about to see, my entire world, my off-trail life, and the normalcy I had been longing to return to was ripped away from me. My head was spinning, to say the least. While he did come visit me several times throughout my hike and actually summited with me on this final day, this documentary has been carefully edited to not include him. This is my story, and I will not allow him to take it from me, as he did with my home, my friends, community, town, trust, and life as I knew it. My inner world in chaos, I put on a happy face for YouTube and the family that came to Maine to see me at the end. That is the footage you were about to see. But no, I was in utter and complete shock. I pretended that my whole world was not crashing down, put one foot in front of another, and finished what I started.
I'd say the weather looks, just a little bit better today. We can actually see the mountain we're about to climb. You want to do your clackard?
Oh, summit attempt, take 2.
Boom! And poof, we're back almost at tree line, exactly where we waited for an hour and a half yesterday in the rain, freezing rain and wind and cold. And now today, it is beautiful and crystal clear and very, very busy.
Yeah, looking a little better than yesterday. We got to about there yesterday. And the main rebar of confusion continues. Nice.
Please enjoy this final day of my journey and an original song I wrote the lyrics and sang the lead vocals on. I'm not a professional lyricist or singer by any means. I wanted to take some power back in this particular moment of my life that I so desperately wish had turned out differently. But try as he might, I won't let him steal this victory from me.
One more sunrise, one more day on this trail of dreams. I found my way. 7 years we built hand in hand. Now you've left me on shifting sand. No warning signs, just a cruel twist of fate. You pulled the rug, left me to contemplate. In the shadow of the mountains, I stand alone. Took my heart, turned it to stone. You told me forever on our first dance. Would have fought forever, was given no chance. You waited till the worst moment, pinnacle of pride, to tell me goodbye, cast my love aside. No, I won't let you seal this victory. One day from the end you set yourself free. You took my home, my friends, my last song. But the Appalachian winds blow me along. You took my home, my friends, my last song. Please, Appalachian winds blow me along. Quickly found a new rhythm, dancer in the night. Hope she's everything you want, maybe you'll get it right. Double betrayal took my world piece by piece. Left me with nothing at all, seeking the ultimate release. Nothing changed for you, your world's still the same. You took all my joy, but I won't play your game. Through the valleys and peaks, I'll find my way. A thru-hiker spirit, come my way. I won't let you steal this victory. One day from the end you'll set yourself free. You took my name, my hope, my trust so strong. But the Appalachian winds blow me along. You took my name, my hope, my trust so strong. Please, Appalachian winds, move me along. I won't let you steal this victory. One day from the end I'll set myself free. I'll make a new home, new friends, a new song. And the Appalachian winds will blow me along. I'll make a new home, new friends, a new song. And the Appalachian winds will move me along. In the vastness of the wild, my soul all unearthed. No more bottomless tears, no more questioning my worth. Stay down in your selfish valley, I'll stay on my mountain high. Watch me soon, I'm gonna fly.
I did it. I'm a thru-hiker. Only now editing this journey is it finally starting to hit me just how far I trekked. I was unable to celebrate or even register in my brain completing the trail in the moment, or many months after. Coming off trail has its challenges always, but in my case, I had to leave a house I worked for 5 years to rebuild, a town I had called home for 6, a state I called home for over half my life, friends, some of which I had since high school, the only community I've known as an adult, and a man I loved and was committed wholeheartedly, all without being given a choice. It has been the hardest year of my life, and during the majority of the past months, I couldn't see a way forward. But looking back on my Appalachian Trail journey, I know I have the strength to do hard things. So as I continue to take life day by day, sometimes even hour by hour or minute by minute, and try my best to get back to the happy, goofy, positive bad bat my YouTube family came to know, I want to thank you all for your never-ending support. To the trail angels, hikers, and viewers who cheered me on every step of the way, thank you. Without you, this journey would not have been possible. The AT community is unlike any other, and I consider myself lucky to be a part of it. Hope to see you out in the mountains soon. But for now, happy trails.